talking to you about tough negotiations. I read an article you have been taken as a hostage in Morocco.
Yes, that was how I started in journalism. I was kidnapped when I was 22 years old.
You negotiated with this?
I didn't so much negotiate as, well, in a way I did negotiate. So the full story, I was playing guitar in a train station. I just arrived in Tangiers. I was just a young man traveling in Africa, trying to learn about Africa. And the guy said, hey, it's Ramadan, you're a musician, come play with my family. I said, what an opportunity. I'm here to learn about Africa. And so he takes me back, and it's clear very quickly that something is wrong. He starts driving in circles, driving very fast, go back to his house, pushes me in a room, locks the door, and his brother comes in. And so we spend the evening with him and his brother, and they're talking in Arabic, and I don't really understand, and they're smoking pot. At one point they lock me in a bathroom, and then they tell me that they want me to distribute their drugs throughout New York. It's kind of a cockamamie plan, because I'm like, I think what I remember saying is, okay, I'll leave, I'll go back to New York, and you just mail me your drugs. And sure, right? I mean, I'm not sure how you would classify that as a negotiation tactic. And I think ultimately, I think maybe they felt like fishermen who didn't realize that they caught a fish, or they didn't quite know what they were doing. I don't think they had planned out, let's kidnap an American and let's see what we can get. And so at the end of the day, they just dumped me at the train station. They went through all my stuff. Miraculously, I had a smuggling pack built into my backpack where I had my passport and my money and all the stuff I was traveling with, and they didn't find it. So they went through my pack, they found like $20, decided I had no money and was worthless, and let me go. And that's the last I heard of them. So that was my brief kidnapping.
And now you're in a very responsible position.
Yes.
Responsible for a very, let's say, a business which is in a very critical and exciting phase.
That is true.
You have to negotiate with your employees, with partners. What's the most difficult negotiation for you going on?
Going on right now? Well, let's skip that and let's talk about some other recent negotiations. So there are different kinds of negotiations. I'm in management, so I negotiate salaries, I negotiate hiring. I'm in management in a large company, so I negotiate with the company over resources. And I'm a reporter, so I negotiate with sources over information. And those are probably the most interesting negotiations, where you are trying to extract information and they are trying to limit the information that they give. And you are trying to figure out what are the dynamics where I can get the most information and treat you fairly, because you need them to trust you and you need your reputation to be good. Sometimes you're in a situation where you get threatened, they threaten to sue you. That leads to a whole different stage of negotiation, right? So you could be writing a story, the source could say, I'm going to sue you, and then you can either say, oh gosh, I'm so sorry, we withdraw the story, or you can say, buzz off. And those are typically very intense negotiations. So there are different levels of negotiation depending on the different part of my job that I'm doing right then.
Which one do you like most?
What do I like most? I like the balance. I like being able to move between them all. I think that it's important that I do the job of managing Wired and trying to manage it effectively, and I think I have a pretty good grasp of how the business works and how the edit side works, and if that's good for Wired. And then when I get too stressed out by that, I like to report. So I'll write a long story about Facebook, or a short story about something else.